today, and then I'm going to explain to you some information about Kiva and the place we're going to visit today. Okay, so my name, like I said, is Lynette. And our tour today consists of, so maybe the representative lets you know more or less what you're going to do, but I'm going to give you the details. Okay, so the first stop we're going to be having today or making will be at the La Redonda, which is a lake. It's the second most important in our country, and also it is where we're going to have the speedboats. So we're going to do the speedboats in the morning. That's the first activity we're going to be doing today, and then we'll continue to Moron. In Moron, when we get there, we're going to be to this antique house. It is a family house, so you're going to have the chance also to see how we live, and at the same time we're going to visit what this family are doing, rescuing a lot of antiques that's right now they're all functioning. So this is the second place we're going to visit in Moron. And for that on, we're going to continue for the ride on the horse cars, and then these people, they're going to take you to the foundational place in Moron. So the first park we had, where the foundation of the city took place, the first place, and then we're going to meet these people that they have like a project, a community project. So they have like, they're going to act for you and do some activities with you in this place. So when we finish with this, we are going to go to downtown in Moron, and we are going to visit a gallery, and also it is a store where it is very, very nice for us because we only have 3 stores like this in Cuba, one in Moron, one in Ciego de Avila, and then Havana, which is in Havana. It's a gallery only, they don't sell the pieces, but only then we have this store in Ciego de Avila and then in Moron, and then we have one in the United States. That's all we have from these people. They're Cubans, and they belong to this to our province. So they're very good. So we're going to have a quick stop on this place. We're going to have the chance that you have some free time on downtown for you to get in touch with Cuban people, okay? And try to practice your Spanish, because at the end of the tour you'll have the chance to let me know how many words you had the chance to learn. And it's 50, 70, that will be good. Will be perfect, okay? So we're going to have this quick stop, and then if we have the chance, if not too late, we're going to have the visit to the museum of the sugar cane. Okay, so if it's too late, as it is late, like noon time, and you're hungry, you're going to have lunch first, and then we'll continue with this other activity. It depends on you, it depends on us, it depends whatever you want to do. So after lunch, we are going to have we're going to be returning to this to Cayo Coco, and then we're going to make a stop in this this place. They're going to give you like a meeting where they're going to explain to you how to pair Cuban cigars with Cuban rum. So this is the place where you're going to get your souvenirs, and then that will be the end of the tour. Okay. Before that, we make almost always a stop, because I don't know if you heard that our province is named after, or is named because of the pineapple. We are the province of the pineapple in Cuba. We are the ones that produce the best pineapples in our country, and also we are the ones that distribute pineapples for everybody when we're talking about the tourism. So we're going to make a quick stop in a place that it was devastated by the hurricane we had last year, but today reopened, and it's a small bar, but they serve the best piña colada that we have in our province. So this is one of the last stops we're going to be making. So you have the chance, for those that want to taste it, it will be good. So, or the others just for you to walk around and have the look and take some pictures. It depends on you. Okay, that's another of the activities. Also, there are some stuff we can do as you're already in Moron. There are some things or some other things we can do, but it depends on you. I will let you know later on, and it depends if you want to do it. If you don't want to, it depends. So if there's any of you interested in something specific, like maybe if you are interested in something that could be what other people are interested in too. So I'm your guide. We are already in Moron, so if you want to do something else, just let me know. Or at least if you want to do like having more time in a place, something like that, you're interested in something, you want to know something, you want to buy something, just let me know. I will help you out. I'll help you out if we have the chance. Okay. So as I said, that's more or less what that's what the representative tell you what you were going to see today. It's okay? Okay? anyways, we're going to take that. We have like all city in the whole city. We have a modern part, the central part, and then an old part. So we're going to take the horse, the ridings with the horse. We're going to have it in the central, in the newest part of the city. So it is the where also it is the monument that represents, or that we always is a symbol for Moron. It's a rooster. That's where we're going to make a quick stop, and then you're going to have the chance to take the carriage or the cars for the horses. Then those people, they're going to take you to the foundational place of the city, and then you have the project of these people gathering with some entertainment and something like that. And then for now, we're going to continue with the tour. Okay. So it's more or less, like I said, 40 minutes, and then I'm going to let you know more or less about our country. I know that there's a lot of people. Cuba, it is a controversial place. When we talk about Cuba, always talking, people think about all the history. We are a very small island, but with a very big history. And we're not. I'm not going to give you a history lesson. For sure, you know a lot, and there's a lot of things you can learn on the internet. But I'm trying to give you today some stuff, or I'll let you know some things that for sure you're not gonna find on the internet. Some very specific things that belongs to our culture, to our city, to our places, and this is more or less what we will be doing today. Okay. So, anyways, if you have any questions, there's a lot of people with specific questions that you would like to be answered. It's okay. I'm here for that. So if we have the chance, and then if you want to, you can let me know what you want to know about Cuba, and I will try my best to give you your answer. Okay. So like I said, we're in Cuba. We have 16 provinces today. This is more or less a map of Cuba. I say more or less because it's not exactly accurate, because it's a Chinese map. This is a Chinese bus. So they tried to make a map, but today our country, or Cuba, is surrounded from more than 4,000 islands, and we only can see 5. So where we are right now is in the central part of Cuba. So those small islands that we have on the north part of Cuba, that's where we are. Okay, so we are right here. This is our province. This one here, this is our province, and we should be here, but we should, because on this place, or on the other side, should be Cayo, which is the other island that belongs to this destination, and we don't have it on the map. So we'll try more or less to figure out that this is Cayo Coco, and then we'll have Cayo on this place. Okay, so we have 16 provinces, like I said, because 2 years ago we only had 14. So Havana is split into 2 other provinces. So right now we have Havana, but also we have Artemisa and Mayabeque. We have 16 provinces and 1 special municipality, which is that small island that we have in the south part of Cuba. At the very beginning, when there was the intervention of the United States, it was a place where people, we have one of the most secure prisons in Cuba. But today it is a regular town, so we have a lot of people living here. This is a place where we have more parrots in Cuba. It is known as the island of the parrots, and also it is called Isla de la Juventud, which is the island of the youth. That's more or less how they call it. So we only can come to this place by plane or by boat. But anyways, it is a town, so people, they just live here. So we have 11 million people living in Cuba, more than 11 million people living in Cuba, and 2.8 of this population are living in Havana today. So today, if you want to move to Havana, it is more or less when we're going to move to some place or another country. We have to give our purpose why we want to move to Havana, and why you're going to stay in Havana, and they will let you know if you can or not. Because it is the most populated area in Cuba. Also, everything happens in Havana, like you said, or like I said, it's our capital, but also it is where the economic, politics, everything happens in Havana. That's why it's today's a control area, like we said. Today, or this year, November the 16th, we are turning, or Havana is turning 500 years. So this is the anniversary of, it's the year for the anniversary of Havana. And also it is why today is making, like, we're having very big renovations in all buildings in Havana. Okay, so it's you know what, all this that's happening right today. So United States, they're trying to want that Cuba give the money back for all the buildings they built in Cuba before we had our triumph of the revolution. It's crazy, because it's not our fault that they wanted to build a lot of buildings. It's not, and that's what they're trying to regain this year. So in May the 2nd, we are trying. They are going to start with the Helms-Burton law again. This that's long history that we're not going to be talking today. So in our city, the city that we're going to visit today, we have 64,000 people living on this city, and most of the people that live in Moron work with tourism. Okay, today in Cuba, the first economical activity, it is tourism. It is not sugarcane. It is nothing like that. It's just the tourism. When we go to exports, we talk about exports. It is sugarcane, the first product that we export out of Cuba, and then the second will be the cigars, and then the rum. Okay, so that's more or less the products that we are very popular in the world when we talk about Cuba: rum, cigars, and sugarcane. That's our main products, and it is that's what happens in our country for today. So tourism is the first economical activity. That's why more than or most of the population of Moron work with the tourism. We have a lot of places in Cuba that's been directly in relation with this activity. So Ciego de Ávila, it is one of the provinces. That's that's the name of the province, Ciego de Ávila. And then we have two important cities. It is Ciego de Ávila, which is the capital. Then we have Moron. It is the second most important. But also it is the nearest city that we have from Cayo, Coco, and Cayo. Nobody lives on the island. That's why we have to travel every day. So maybe when we are going to Moron, we're going to see those buses or coaches, red and white. Those are the ones that transfer people inside for their job. So you have a 24-hour service at your hotel, and it's because we split the day into 3 shifts, more or less. So we have one shift that starts from 7 in the morning till 3, from 3 to 11, from 11 to 7 in the morning. So these people come from Moron, but also from Ciego de Ávila. It is 1 hour for us to travel from Moron to Cayo Coco, which is the place where your hotels are. But we have Cayo Guillermo, so it is 1 hour 45 for the people to go to Cayo Guillermo, and then 1 hour 45 for those that live in Ciego de Ávila, which is the capital of our province, to get to Cayo Coco. 1 hour 45, and then 2 hours and a half to get to Cayo Guillermo. That's more or less for going and back. So 2 hours and a half to come, then 2 hours and a half to return. So it will be a very long day. We have 8-hour shifts, and when we count time we have to be on a coach, it's more or less like 12 hours a day. That's more or less how it works. Nobody lives on the island. We have 95% of those islands are covered by vegetation, and also it is the third place in Cuba, most important place when we talk about observation of birds. Okay, we have more than 250 different kind of birds in these 2 islands, and then the one that people know the most when we talk about Cayo Coco, it is flamingos. It's very nice because flamingos after the hurricane we lost more than 10,000 flamingos, and today we have 2 colonies already spotted. We have one when we're going to Cayo Guillermo at the entrance, and then sometimes in the afternoon we have the chance to see it on the causeway that we're going to pass right now to go to Cayo to Moron. And it is there's a lot of people when they come, they're looking for the bird, for this the flamingos, but this is going to be very hard to have all the ones that we had 2 years ago. 2 years ago we can see almost, it was like a pink ocean. It was hundreds, thousands of flamingos, and it's a very long. It's going to be like 2 years maybe when we have all this number of flamingos back. It's only one egg per year, so a couple of flamingos, they only have 1 egg. So it gets very difficult to have all that back. So one baby have to be, it's not always that survive one baby, and also it's a lifetime couple, so they stay together forever. So if one dies, that's how it, the procreation limits for them just finished. Okay, so we are going today right now, and this is a causeway over the ocean, and it has 36 kilometers long. So it is the first that was built in our country. It's also one of the architectural projects most important after the triumph of the revolution in Cuba, and it is the only way we have access to these 2 islands that we have. This Cayo Coco and Cayo Guillermo. This is the only way we can come to this island. So it is a 36 kilometer long causeway, and we have 17 bridges. small bridges that makes the water easily to flow from one place to the other. Because at the very beginning, when they started the construction of this place, they didn't think about it, so we lost a lot of the ecosystem that we have on both sides. We had like a very big thing going on, so they decided to build these bridges so the water can come from one place to the other. So this is the only way that we can protect the ecosystem that we have on both sides. So this is just this is what we call the Bay of Dogs. It is not a very deep bay, but we have more or less like 4 meters deep. That's the deepest part of the bay. Okay, so we are going to see, as we are walking or going to Moron, some bridges that still are on renovation after the hurricane. So it's been long. It takes a lot a lot of work, and still you'll get the chance to see this work. Okay, so as I said, we are going to the province of Ciego de Avila. We have, every province in Cuba have different economical activities, and Ciego de Avila, it is very popular because of the tourism, for sure. And then we have the agriculture. We are an agricultural province, and then we also have the breeding of some cattle that are very important for the tourism. Okay, that's more or less what we're going to have the chance to see. So I've been talking a lot, so I'm going to give you more or less 5 minutes so you can take a look, and I'll be seated right here, so I will give you further information. This is the place, like I told you about, this is where we're going to have the pina colada. So it's one of the last stops we're going to be making today. Okay, so I'm going to be sit. Any questions so far? No, you don't have any chance to. Okay, I will sit here and I will give you more information. Okay, thank you very much. We have this year, these last days, a little bit of rain, and it is because in Cuba we don't have 4 seasons delimited as you have in your country. We only have 2, or at least we recognize 2. One is the dry season, and then it's the other is the rainy season.